This isn't going to be a long flight today. We're taking 114 passengers on a 737 800 to Chicago O'Hare, flying at about 37,000 feet. Um, wow, just noticed that's an awfully low cost index, but I'll see. We'll figure that out in a minute. So we're cost index is 5. We'll see why. Anyway, we'll be flying out on our 737 here shortly, and I'll see if I can't walk everybody through what we're doing. So Nashville, here we are. It's a very clean airport, clean looking airport, not dirty at all. So, so our buildings are a little bit older. I think, yeah, they are.
He's talking out loud.
Right. This is a Delta Virtual Airlines sanctioned flight, so we're going to need to get our black box virtual going here. It's really light, 114 passengers out of Nashville. That's a not very cost effective flight, but hey, you know.
Hey, Mike and Wes are mowing a bunch of yards.
It must be a work release. Okay, there we go.
Yeah, he's out. Good to see. Yeah,
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of Delta Sky Team and our global partners, welcome on board your Delta flight going to Chicago O'Hare International Airport. As you're making your way to your seat, we kindly ask that you please step into your row and out of the aisle as quickly as possible to allow those passengers behind you to make their way to their seat as well. If you're traveling with a larger rollerboard, please place it in the overhead bins, either wheels or handles first on either side of the aircraft. Keeping in mind that the overhead bin space is shared space, so if the bin directly above your seat is already full, please go ahead and utilize the next available space.
Yeah.
If you brought in a second item with you, such as a briefcase, tote bag,
Exactly.
laptop bag, backpack,
Or I just don't feel good.
you can go ahead
Steady
and utilize
position.
that space under the seat in front of you,
AP.
so that we can utilize
What?
that overhead bin space for your larger bags without having to check them plain sight to your final destination. Feel free to utilize your mobile phones, tablets, and e-readers while we're here at
Oh,
the
I
gate.
heard you.
However, once we close our boarding door, you must please place these items into airplane mode or turn off your cellular service. So we'd like to thank you all for choosing to fly Delta. Welcome on board.
Don't worry about it. I accidentally invited you to a party, realized you were in a party with the join the party. Stand it.
I've got to where I hate night flights. Just because you can't see anything. Airports, this airport here, it looks beautiful. Uh, got a really clean look, doesn't it? It's Nashville, very clean.
Are you still on this? You and I.
All right, let's lock. Let's hit the bus to APU.
Bad gorilla. Those things are upwards to 450 pounds.
And let's get our FMS information and our IRS information in here. IRS information, set IRS position, and you'll see colors popping up here. That's good. And now we're going to go to flight request, pull down our flight plan. Our flight plan's coming from sim brief.
You are underestimating.
Not to be construed as actual navigation. So that's just a disclaimer. And anything that I do in this flight, do not construe it to be what a real pilot would do. It's not training. This is strictly for recreational and fun purposes, but you think you would know where things are in the cockpit if you got in the cockpit of a 737. All right, let's look at our leg here. Right here we see it's going to try to vector us, but the first waypoint it looks like is Sierra. Let me see. Looking at my setting here. Yeah. So with that being the case, I am going to forego the vectors in that part, and Sierra will be the first waypoint that we travel to, unless we are vectored or told that we have to do something different. That's what we'll go straight to. Okay. On our fuel and weight balance, airside services, we're going to load our flight plan. We're going to activate that and look outside and watch the magic
I
happen.
didn't mean that as a diss. I meant that as a on my screen. You're like in Narnia.
Still not real thrilled with Austin's vegan food. Bring me some meat and potatoes. But you know what? To each his own. True story. The best pasta that I have ever tasted, pasta salad, was of all things on a American Airlines flight flying to Comayagua in Honduras. I don't know who the caterer was, but it was pretty amazing food. It's really good. Okay, we're fueling up there. You notice I've already put my anti-skid to RTO, reject takeoff in case it's needed. Hopefully it won't be. This isn't but a 421 mile flight. This is not a long. This won't be a terribly long one. Is it just me that graphically, like the lines and edges on everything looks really good? And some of that, the lighting part, is due to the new Xplane update. So I think that plays a part in that. By the way, I haven't brought up my. We're going off on runway 20 center, 20 center today. I always set my flight directors for the runway that I'm taking off, and I do that. Part of the reason I do that is just awareness. There are two ways to do set my bug, but
flight deck fuel is all loaded up and you are good to go.
But I'm going to set the bug for the runway. Sometimes I set the bug for the first waypoint, and I'm not saying that's necessarily the policy. It's up the airline policy way.
They teleported on top of that.
But it's just one less thing I have to do because it's just me, no other help. Right. If you notice here on our what it's at waiting for is I need to set my no smoking for on or auto to get the passengers loaded. So we're going to do that now.
Did you have it?
We should hear some activity there. Set autos, seat belts are going to set to auto because I'll leave it there. And hydraulics can come on. APU bleed needs to be on. I should have had that on earlier. And next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to bring up say intentions and let them. I'm going to get a co-pilot. Can't say enough for say intentions. It's awesome. And I think it's worth the subscription to put into it. Some would say different. All depends on your
Flight
budget.
attendants, prepare your doors for departure, please. Cross-check and all calls.
All right, we've got everyone strapped in. Give us a ring if you need anything.
I have to physically get up from my chair, unplug my Ethernet cord from my PC, plug it into my Xbox. It's just I could do it during like the like in between because no one was scheduled.
Brian, you're in charge of all comms for this flight.
Got it, Steve. I'll handle all the comms from here.
Is there someone knocking on the door?
Brian, would you get our IFR clearance, please?
I don't think so.
I'll get our IFR clearance from Nashville Clearance on 126.05.
I didn't hear anyone. Okay.
This runway takes up some space, by the way. Did you notice that?
Nashville International Airport clearance, SkyWest 4638. We'd like to receive our IFR clearance.
Clearance on request. Stand by.
Still trying.
Little secret, if you'll hit C, which frees up your camera.
Oh.
Sometimes I like
I'm gonna blame
kind of using that
airwall
free camera.
flagging so I didn't get the
It's a
rating.
better shot of the city,
I'm just
Nashville.
gonna leave it at that. But of course, yes.
Really looks good.
Oh.
I stopped using Active Sky and XP Enhanced maps and started just going native to Xplane 12, the latest update, and I have no regrets right now, none whatsoever.
Usually I hit the button if they're hitting the ball. Or at least that's what I try to do. Wait, is that just...
I'm going to go
Ground
ahead
to
and have,
cockpit. Please show me where you want to go.
I'm going to go ahead and get our tow in our vicinity. We'll be asking
Ground to cockpit.
clearance.
Tow is driving up.
And we're going to get our QNH loaded.
I was like, how did you get here so fast?
Current QNH is 3019.
Ah, dang it.
And of course, when I do that, I also have it set for my backup, and I have it set to sync with my other co-pilot over here too. So on the right seat, it automatically will sync, so I don't have to worry with that. Our altitude that we'll be flying at.
SkyWest 4638. Nashville International Airport clearance.
Hey, all doors and
Cleared to
hatches are
Chicago
closed.
via the
Ready to
Carsta 3
connect.
departure, then as filed. Climb and maintain 4,000. Expect flight level 370 10 minutes after departure. Departure on 119.35, squawk 1745. Expect runway 20 center.
All right, 20 center. We're going off on. Okay. Got it.
No, it looked like a horrible second, but it was... Actually,
Brian,
no.
are you gonna talk back to him?
No, that wasn't as bad as I thought it looked. I thought you put it like almost out of the net with the second touch.
Sometimes I don't know what the delay is here, but I'm gonna respond back.
Yeah, I got it.
SkyWest 4638 Alpha. We're
Connected and bypass pin inserted.
cleared to
Release
Chicago via the Krista 3 departure, then as filed. We're climbing and maintaining 4,000. Expect flight level 370 10 minutes after departure. Departure is on 119.35, squawking 1745, expecting runway 20 Charlie.
SkyWest 4638, read back correct.
Right, so we're fully loaded right now. Our cargo's fully
Nashville
loaded.
International Airport clearance, SkyWest 4638. Cleared to Chicago via Carsta 3 departure, then as filed. climb and maintain 4,000. Expect flight level 370 10 minutes after departure. Departure frequency 119.35, squawk 1745. Anticipate runway 20 center.
Osprey 7115. Heavy, this is the clearance frequency. Please contact ground on 121.7 for push and start clearance. Ground on 21.7.
Brian, would you get our push and start clearance, please?
Good evening, Southwest 4649. Looking for IFR clearance to Pensacola is filed with Gulf.
I'll have your clearance in just a second.
I'll request pushback clearance from ground.
Clear to Pensacola via the Flames 3 departure, then is
KLM 123. Taxi to runway 10 via Charlie. Bravo 2, Bravo 1, Alpha 1, Alpha 3, Alpha 5. Contact tower on 118.155 when ready for
We're going to be taking off at 15 flaps.
Nashville International Airport ground, SkyWest 4638, requesting clearance for pushback. SkyWest 4638, pushback approved,
V1
tail northeast.
127, VR rotate 129, and V2 is 139. We'll enter 139 in our setting here. And VNAV is active. Autopilot's not active, VNAV's active. Okay. Haven't lost my mind. Tail northeast. Let me make sure we got. We're gonna go ahead and go. I think I did do northeast.
And you may start engines.
Flight attendants, prepare your doors for departure, please. Cross-check and I'll call. Once again, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome on board your Delta flight. So in just a moment, we'll be showing you a brief presentation on the safety features of the aircraft. We kindly ask that you please direct your attention to your monitors and flight attendants in the aisle, even if you are a frequent flyer. Thank you so much.
Contact tower on 122.1 when ready for
Welcome
departure.
aboard, and thank you for choosing Delta. The health and safety of our customers and crew is our #1 priority and a shared responsibility of everyone on board. So before we depart, please pay attention to this important message. Stow all carry-on items in an overhead bin and place smaller items completely under the seat in front of you. Larger electronic devices must be placed in a bag. Handheld portable electronic devices, including mobile phones, should also be secured. Keep the aisles, exits, and bulkhead areas clear.
If you lose an electronic device in your seat, please do not adjust your seat and ask a crew member for help. As we leave the gate, fasten your seatbelt by inserting the metal tip into the buckle and adjusting the strap so it's low and tight across your lap. To release, lift the top of the buckle. If your seat has a shoulder harness, attach the metal tip to the fitting on the belt. To release, push the metal tip down.
Okay,
Stay
engine
seated
1,
with your
start.
seatbelt fastened when the seatbelt sign is
Operation
on.
complete.
And keep
Set
it
parking
fastened
brake.
whenever you're seated in case of sudden rough air. In the event of
Disconnecting
rough air,
tow.
the crew might
Stand
also
by.
need to buckle up for safety. We appreciate your understanding if our service is interrupted.
Federal regulations require all passengers to comply with all crew members' instructions, along with the posted placards and lighted information signs throughout the cabin.
Smoking, vaping, the use of e-cigarettes or any smokeless product, including chewing tobacco, is not allowed on any Delta flight. Federal law prohibits tampering with, disabling, or destroying restroom smoke detectors. There are 8 exits on this plane, 8 doors, 4 on each side. Each door has a detachable slide that can be used as a rack. In the event of an evacuation, leave all bags behind. Carrying baggage will seal the evacuation. All exits are clearly marked with a green exit symbol. Locate the nearest exits and remember,
Oh, it's disconnected. Unbike fasten has been removed. Hand signal on the left. We'll see you next time and have a safe flight.
It's unlikely, but if cabin pressure changes, Oxygen masks will drop from panels
Window
above
heat
your seat
on,
and inside the laboratories.
on.
Reach
Tail
up and
damper
pull the
on.
mask or streamer down to start the flow of oxygen. Remove any
Packs to
face
auto.
covering and place the mask over your nose and mouth. Slip the elastic strap over your head and adjust the mask if
Cabin
necessary.
set to
Breathe
370.
normally and note that oxygen is flowing. So don't worry if the bag doesn't inflate. Be sure to adjust your own mask before helping others.
A water evacuation is also unlikely, but just in case, life vests are in a compartment beneath or adjacent to your seat. To use, remove the vest from its container by pulling on the tab and then opening the pouch. Slip the vest over your head, wrap the strap around your waist, attach it to the buckle in front, and adjust securely around your waist. As you leave the plane, inflate the vest by pulling down on the red tab at the bottom or manually inflate it by blowing into the tube at shoulder level. A water-activated light is attached to each vest. For children under 35 pounds, place the vest around their waist and secure the strap between the legs. See your safety card for more information. Additional life vests for in-lap children are in marked compartments at the front and rear of the plane. We'll distribute these vests if necessary.
Before takeoff, bring your seat to its upright position and stow your tray table and footrest. Be sure you fasten your seatbelt low and tight across your lap. Carry-on items are secured and armrests are at the resting position. If you have a suite door, ensure it's open. See placard instructions inside the suite door for opening instructions in case of emergency. Finally, take a moment to review the safety
Brian,
information card on your
we're
seat
ready
belt.
for our
As we
taxi
finish our
clearance.
safety check, please let us know if you have any questions.
As we get ready for takeoff, please settle in. And from all of our crew, thank you for flying with Delta.
Requesting taxi clearance from ground now.
American 688, taxi to runway 5 right by Bravo Juliet Alpha. Contact tower on 118.7 when ready for departure.
Nashville ground, SkyWest 4638, ready for taxi. We have information, Charlie.
SkyWest 4638, taxi to runway 20 center via Yankee 3, Tango 4, cross runway 31, then Sierra 7.
Runway 20 center via Yankee 3, Tango 4, cross runway 31, then Sierra 7. SkyWest 4638.
You heard it. Follow the yellow brick road. That's what we're doing.
Or don't hit it. I didn't touch it. I was just like, you know what, I'm gonna watch this go in. You can see me literally slow down. Stare at it.
If we were on VATSIM, we're on a say intentions ATC, we would be asking permission or requesting clearance to cross runways. In this case, we're not.
Knock on wood. My speed books are working today. I said, I knocked on wood. Oh no. You don't get that right. You don't get that right. I get that all the time.
It's a beautiful day to fly there. It's, the weather could be better.
Yes. Saves are like 100, goals are no, saves are 50, goals are 100. I remember because it tells me. I think saves are 75.
Suit of command, your wings by Papa Yankee, requesting taxi.
I can't say I've actually as a passenger flown out of Nashville. I'm not sure that I have.
Wings 5 Papa Yankee, taxi to runway 5 right via Lima 7 Romeo.
You could just like throw it in their head. Nobody was in front of it.
Taxi to runway 5 via Lima 7 and Romeo, Eurowings 5 Papa Yankee.
According to our information here on distance, we're not far. In fact, Navigraph logs this at about 355 nautical miles.
American 688, contact tower on 118.7, take care.
there such a thing? Okay, I'm just using right now on Xplane as full contact. In other words, right? You know how you really technically can't have a real runway incursion with another aircraft, but I wonder if it's actually a setting that can be put in Xplane.
Eurowings 5 Papa Yankee. Contact tower on 118.305. Tower on 118.305. Eurowings 5 Papa Yankee.
By the way, I cheated on this. I actually taxied down to the other end of the runway, but I was trying to give y'all some scenery there. So we're actually, our takeoff is going to be from the other end of the runway.
Wait, yo, W50.
All aircraft be advised, information pop is now current. QNH 1012.
It's not 1012. Give me a.
Good afternoon. Request push and start.
What is that? Those hits confused me.
Delta 25 push and start. Approve face northwest. Thank you.
Yeah,
Brian, would you request a QNH reading, please?
no, because I heard him directly behind me.
That's not something I can help with.
Well, that was a nice shot. I knew we probably had somebody had to go up, but the same time I was like, no. I tried to base it where he was going to be.
A little concerned
Engine start approved. Tail west.
on our runway length. We're gonna check that.
Absar 439er 2. Contact tower on 118.3 safe flight.
Just double checking this runway length does not seem.
Ryanair 95, ready
There
for
you go.
taxi. Ryanair 985, taxi to runway 8 via Alpha. Contact tower on 118.7 when ready for departure.
Delta 1377 Orlando ground, taxi to B78 via Golf Hotel 3. Good day.
Taxi runway 08 via Alpha, we contact tower on 118.7, ready for departure. Ryanair 985, thank you.
Oh, 3019. Phone.
Roger. 7877, taxi to runway 2 center, via Alpha. FedEx 77, read that correct. Contact tower on 118.6 when ready for departure.
Helsinki ground, could you repeat our initial climb altitude? Finnair first, following Golf Romeo.
Finnair 7 Golf Romeo, Helsinki ground. Initial climb altitude is 4,000 feet.
Initial climb altitude 4,000 feet. Finnair 7 Golf Romeo.
Finnair 7 Golf Romeo, Helsinki ground. Initial climb altitude is 4,000 feet.
Cockpit to ground, could you please disconnect the jet bridge, please?
Is that better or worse?
Lufthansa 71 Whiskey Zulu, London Gatwick Airport ground. Contact apron on 119.999 for jet bridge services.
I think we're okay.
All aircraft be advised, information Charlie is now current. QNH 1012.
Ryan, we're ready. We are ready for our takeoff clearance.
Requesting takeoff clearance now.
Resetting our chronometers. Good.
Nashville International Airport Tower, SkyWest 4638, holding short of runway 20 center, ready to depart.
SkyWest 4638, Nashville International Airport Tower, runway 20C, winds 175 at 10, cleared for takeoff.
Yeah, I think we're right. It just, I do not think I'm on the longest runway, but we're okay. Right? We're going to Toga. We're gonna keep our brakes on, and make sure we're okay. Release brakes. Forward pressure on yoke. Right rudder,
80 knots.
It always tends to pull one side. All right, I think we're looking good.
V1 rotating. Positive brake.
Gear up. Flaps to 5. Nav active. Command A's not hit yet though. Flaps to retracted. Geared off. Command A.
SkyWest 4638, Nashville International Airport Tower, contact departure on 119.35.
And we're having to do a full turn. Back on to our waypoint course.
Beer, wine, and spirits are available, complimentary for our first class and Delta Comfort Plus passengers, as well as available for purchase for the main cabin. A complete listing of available beverages, as well as of our fresh eats items, can be found in the menus in your seat pocket. Please be reminded that Delta accepts only major credit or debit cards for onboard purchases of beverages and snacks.
All right. Okay.
However, you can use your Delta SkyMiles American Express card to save 15% and earn double miles on all Delta purchases. For your enjoyment, each seat is equipped with your own personal entertainment system. On it, you can you a selection of complimentary as well as on-demand TV shows, movies, and music. You will find that this screen will work best with just a light tap of your fingertip. Feel free to use your own headsets. Otherwise, if you do need a headset, just let a flight attendant know they are yours complimentary for this and any future Delta flights.
Alright, we just hit 10,000 mark. Landing lights off. Engines will stay on continuous until cruise altitude. Rudder trim still fascinates me. It's like a ballet dance. Anybody, if you're just getting used to the Zibo, I do like this feature. Haven't used it on this takeoff because a view I use is I come back a little bit, have a wider screen, and I like my view. But if I need it, I have this. And if you are trying to get closer in, see more window than you do instruments, this gives you all that you would need. For instance, you see on the heads-up display, it shows you your VNAV. You're currently on autopilot, CMD. As we're climbing, your level at your horizon, and your speed. Everything you need is just about on there. And I think, and including your next waypoint. Let's see, is your next waypoint on there? Yeah, the bottom right, you have like information about your next waypoint. One thing I think I did screw up on. I usually set ILS to a nothing, and I think there must have been a similar ILS in Nashville. Fortunately, it didn't hinder or impede anything on our takeoff. We're going to go to NITREF now. To departure and arrivals. And our arrival is going to be on runway 27 Charlie. At O'Hare, it's a 27 Charlie. And according to this, we're going to be on the Veek arrival. Let's see. It's already selected. So we'll leave that there. And we have a vector here, and I'm leaving that vector in there because this particular airport is extremely busy. Just in case, we'll leave that vector setting in there. Now, if we go back to the NITREF, we're going to go for 40 flaps at 136 knots, touchdown, and we'll place that in there, and that will give us a VREF setting. I'll get that to standard there. So we'll put that set in our VREF, and now our VREF is set for 4136. Now our frequency for ILS is in here, 111.90. It's really convenient. There we go. So our ILS frequency is already in place. We're currently running, we're on TCAS. We're on a TCAS setting that gives us some protection usually do it at 30. You're supposed to do it 300, but I went ahead and set it. And let's go ahead and turn off our anti-skid. We're at 326 nautical miles from our destination. Right, on the FMS, we're going to now go to descent winds and our forecast and see if we can call for descent winds and see if we've got some descent winds that can give us that we can just download. If not, we'll have to manually put them in. Okay. And we're going to have to manually put them in from our flight plan. I will say it's 3002 for our altimeter. Put that in there. And I'm going to go ahead and get our descent winds. Let's see if we can enter that. You can find those in your flight plan. Kind of the last thing is descent forecast winds, and we're going to be at 370 on our final. So anyway, we're going to pick pick 350. So if this doesn't make sense, just keep doing it. Eventually it will. 350 and 290 winds from 290 to 40. So 290 40. Let's take it down to 250. And that will give us 28034. 280. You have access to all this in your sim brief. And we'll go all the way down to 150. And that will give us 270022. We're going to execute that. So now those settings are in there, and all of our descent wind information is in there. It'd be nice that way it's already in the FMS. Don't have to think about it. And I'm going to enter Jumbo JMBBO 4000. Let's see. JMBBO 4000. And in my descent area, I'm going to put that in there. So I want to track that. Look outside. about to hit cruise altitude.
1,000 to go.
United 1247. Heavy, welcome to Winona. Contact ground on 121.9er.
Set our speed bug back. I have not set it right. Speed bug set to our current heading, and we'll set our flight directors to our arrival runway. So we'll put them 270, and we'll go compare that to the chart in a second. Let's look at the chart together since you've got pull at the airport. Okay. So we're coming in on a runway 27 Charlie. Cat 3, of course, going to be up to date 111.90. And our mean sea level is 652. And we'll put that in our landing level. It's just what's it at 650. And we want to pull up arrival. Ah. This is a little more cumbersome to get around on. Let's see if I can. Oh, it'll let me. Okay. I can use my scroll. KORD arrival. Let's see.
Citation for Sierra Bravo. Welcome to Nashville. Contact ground on 121.9er.
1.9 November 254 Sierra.
109er via tower. Runway 16. Winds 150 at 8. Cleared for takeoff.
They're at 270. Well, that's interesting. Okay, so 680 elevation, runway 27C, landing hold short operations. That's not really what I'm looking for. Let's close that. Honestly, there's something else I can pull up here for just for reference so y'all can see it. I have it on an iPad, but I'm going to pull the Navigraph charts here.
All aircraft, information X-ray is now current. QNH 1024.
And what we'll do is go to open charts, approach. We're looking for ILS 27 center. Whoa. I had the wrong one. Runway loaded there. Just get the right flight loaded. There we go.
Tower winds 160 at 9 at runway 10, cleared to land.
Yeah. Help me left find it. 27 Charlotte. Here we go. Here's what we need. So there's our 111.90. Our approach course actually is 273. So I'll actually make sure the flight directors are set to 273. Elevation is 680, which we're set. We're good for that. And jumbo, I have jumbo set in our descent information just to track it at 4,000. So we're good. So we're 248 nautical miles from top of descent, which equates to probably we've got about another 125 miles before we start descending. Some things that I noticed they've done a lot better in Xplane is I used Active Sky intentionally because I just did not like the cloud formations in Xplane native, and since the update these cloud formations look so much better.
United Airlines, you are not cleared to take off. Advise when ready to copy full number. Pilot deviation.
That's what I'm saying. The cloud formations and things look so much more authentic. I think we're looking for authentic, aren't you? We can probably make up a few miles. Here we're going to do a speed intervention and knock our Mach up to Mach 0.81.
Welcome to Berlin Plus 2. Contact off on 11705.
It will take some of our fuel for that, but I'm good.
Ready for departure, runway 5
On Say Intentions, our ATC, and for Brian, our co-pilot, I also have Millie on Channel 2. Millie is a expert mentor, and she helps me if I have a question. Like for instance, right now we just upped our speed, but I can ask her, you know, Millie, can you give us our speed right now in miles per hour?
We'll backtrack on right now that we just arrived, sir, so we'll be vacating the runway at taxiway Bravo.
Sure thing. Your current ground speed is approximately 512 miles per hour. Keep in mind that ground speed can vary from indicated airspeed due to wind conditions. You're doing great.
She always tells me I'm doing great, so how can I? No, but it's nice to have that on Channel 2. Now, there's other uses for Channel 2 on your intercom system, on, say, Intentions. I just happen to use it for my mentor, but you have other options. You have your flight attendants. You have a variety of flight attendants to choose from. You can have a couple of other settings on there too, but you have a variety of choices. You can have a humorous flight attendant. You can have grumpy. You just have a variety. Honestly, I like more serious flight attendants with a little bit of sense of humor. But I like to use Millie on Channel 2 because if I'm running, especially when I'm in the Airbus, because I was not as familiar with the Airbus, and she really helps kind of keep me in line, and she can answer questions that I don't know. It's great. I'm going to go ahead and set my anti-skid or my brakes to 2 for landing, because I know that's about what they're going to be. miles outside of Chicago. The windy city. It's not a good thing to say when you're flying. You don't like windy. Of course, everyone knows it's windy.
Helsinki Tower, holding short, runway 22 left. Ready for takeoff, Finnair 7 Golf Romeo.
Finnair 7 Golf Romeo, Helsinki Tower, runway 22 left, winds 200 at 10, cleared for takeoff.
Brian, how's the family?
They're doing great, Steve. Thanks for asking. How about yours?
Runway 22 left, Finnair 7 Golf Romeo.
Really good. Everybody's good. Both are working and in school, so good.
That's great to hear, Steve. Busy times for sure.
Welcome to Heathrow. Contact ground on 121.85 is on time, please.
Brian, when it comes time, we probably will do a slightly early descent, asking clearance, and then we'll just follow the approach by the numbers.
Got it, Steve. We'll coordinate with ATC for an early descent if needed and follow the approach by the numbers.
Well, I like having a couple of views from the area, the passenger area, on mine, and how you set those up. If you're fairly new to Xplane, and sometimes you can have used it for a while and not know, but if you have a numbered keypad, and this does require a numbered keypad to do this, you can, like for instance, the view that I've set right here, I've set it up, use the left, right pointed like arrow keys to get here, and then when I like the angle and everything for this, I hit the control number and I give them the keypad, I give it a setting. Like this particular case, this is keypad 6, and that gives then forward, whenever I hit the 6 key on my keypad, it goes to this. If I hit, no, excuse me, that's 1, and then 6, there's the other side. I can look at both sides of the plane, just gives you a nice view. If I hit 7, it takes me back to the front of the plane, and that, once again, that's a view I've set up. If you just hit W, that's the difference. So W is a little bit different. 7 gives me a little bit more of the cockpit, and I have it on a width level in my settings that I like. So that's how I keep up with what I'm looking at. Billy, what is our miles per hour speed now?
Your current ground speed is approximately 512 miles per hour. Remember, ground speed can differ from indicated airspeed due to wind conditions. Keep up the great work.
All right. Something else I've done here, if you noticed, there are no seats. So I've removed the seats, and at the time I don't have my flight yoke up. I could hit Y and bring it back if I wanted to. And I just do that because it gives me a wide open cockpit. It's not blocking my view. But if I want to, where I do those settings is in the configuration settings here, visual effects. Let me see, where do I have seats? I was trying to put more seats where hardware is hard. So I can find it.
On aircraft, information, mic is now current. QNH 1011.
There is another important setting that I use, and that's in the systems, and that's to have the HUD for the captain available. You see there? But if I turn this off, watch, it's gone. So if your aircraft does not have it, it's not set right here. After you've made changes to your pad here on any settings, anything at all, and you have everything like you like it, you need to be sure. Let's see if we got anything here. No, good. Once you have everything set, you need to hit save configuration. Just do a quick save of all, and that keeps your settings. See how about your settings.
DHL 717 Heavy, Seattle Tower, runway 16 right, winds 190 at 10. RNAV, we set cleared for takeoff.
And that was free. The information was free. It's not cost you a thing. But no, it's nice to know. But you can change your settings like that. Very few things I think in there that matter make you do any sort of restart of the plane. Those are just some that I like. They're things I use. When I hit my cruise altitude, if I would have had the checklist open, I would have remembered to turn off my engines from continuous. Some may ask if you wonder what that will do over time. If in a real airplane, if you kept the engines on continuous all the time, it would cause outside of what we would call routine wear, it would not be good for the plane. Since this is a virtual plane, it's not going to matter as much whether you leave those on or not. So if that's the only thing you left on in the course of your flight, I think you're okay. And I can tell you in the virtual airlines, they don't even track it. Those are things that just aren't important enough to track for obvious reasons. Same would go if you kept, like in flight, sometimes you put it on the other setting. You may ask what would you use the other setting for. It would be like if you were in a bad storm or something and you wanted to keep the engines in a state that if you lost an engine you could try to restart it. That's what that's for. It helps. Why don't we ask Millie? Millie, does it hurt to leave your engines on continuous all the time?
Leaving your engines on continuous ignition all the time isn't necessary and can lead to unnecessary wear and tear. Continuous ignition is typically used in specific situations like takeoff, landing, or when flying through turbulence or precipitation. It's best to use it as needed to ensure engine longevity and efficiency. Keep up the great work managing your systems.
Millie, do you need to leave your engines on continuous until you reach cruise altitude? Is it necessary?
It's not necessary to keep the engines on continuous ignition until cruise altitude. Continuous ignition is typically used during takeoff, landing, and in turbulent or icing conditions. Once you're in stable flight and clear of any adverse weather, you can switch it off. This helps reduce wear on the ignition systems. Keep up the great work managing your systems.
And once again, right there, I just learned something that's more practical, and that's when it comes to continuous, you leave it on during takeoff, but the minute you hit stable flight, stable climb, which I guess could be not far outside of your takeoff, you just simply shut it off. It's good to know.
That's right, Steve. Continuous ignition is used during takeoff and landing, and in turbulent weather. Once we're in stable flight, it can be turned off.
All right, we are just at 199 nautical miles outside of Chicago.
Runway 35 right via Romeo, Kilo, Fox
think the graphics look the best about this time of the day. Like just pops, engines, and the lines are great. Everything's great. It's really good.
All aircraft information echo is now current. QNH 1026.
Millie, what's our miles per hour speed now?
On the ground on 121.995.
Your current ground speed is approximately
All aircraft be
528
advised,
miles per
information
hour.
Delta is now
Keep in
current.
mind that ground
Altimeter
speed can vary
3013.
from indicated airspeed due to wind conditions. You're doing great.
We're 179 miles out of Chicago. I do like tracking the miles, how fast it takes me to go 1 mile, and I think it takes 9 seconds to go 1 mile. Well, 8.5 seconds.
Tower, Bonanza, Lima, November, Tango, Echo, November, holding point Alpha 9, ready for departure.
As soon as we get to, I think, the Bont, I think it's a Bont waypoint, which we're not far from, I'm switching back to just straight VNAV. In other words, I'm not going to intervene on speed. I'm going to let it do everything like it knows to. Something I haven't done recently, I was using the world traffic, and I haven't used it recently, but I did enjoy it, and I'm saying it takes a little bit of effort to set up and get it working the way you want, but it definitely is a good program. So world traffic, if you're looking for a way to add traffic to your routes, and I have not spent a lot of time yet on what if Xplane worked with a AI inside of the native part where you can add planes. I'm curious how it works, but we'll try that on one of our flights. We'll add a bunch of extra traffic and see how they do, and see how much of a resource hog it is. We should get a gauge on that because I'm running an i9 with 64 gigs of RAM, and I'm running a GeForce RTX 4070 video card, and I'm running Xplane off of a 2 terabyte SSD NV card Samsung on my motherboard, and it's in I think two of my slots are both fastest as fast as they can be, and I've actually seen a difference since I installed that particular 2 terabyte. I have a secondary 1 terabyte, but it really you can see a big difference. From your view, you probably see I'm using a MSD, or the console here, which I really like, and it wasn't cheap, but that one is really nice. I got a big discount on it, and it was works. I can't say enough for that, but it's, of course, you limit yourself to the 737 on that one. So I don't have one for the Airbus, and I'm not going out and buying a secondary one for an Airbus, because I'm not going to go below $400 to $600 just for that. Some will, some have it. And then you have a radio, a separate USB radio that is hooked up here, and it's still neat. When Brian changes frequencies, the AI, how to watch it do its thing, he changes frequencies, it changes. I'm using a Logitech yoke with throttle that's worked out real well, and pedals. So we're just hitting the Bont waypoint right now. Let's look over. So we're going to hit Bonnie at 370. It says here Nyland will still be at 370 and Veek, but it says we'll start dropping at Boone. I was looking for some hard points. That's an at or above for jumbo. So I'm surprised I don't see any more at or aboves, especially for the airport we're going in on. I'm not sure why. And we are cutting back the speed intervention to let VNAV manage speeds. So no more 524 knots or miles per hour, excuse me.
American 2606, Jacksonville Tower, runway 8, wind 090 at Niner. RNAV giggles cleared for takeoff. Japan Airlines 736, runway 07 center, is available for departure to Narita, Japan. Cleared and filed.
We're about to make us kind of a left turn. Left turn's coming up.
Japan Airlines 736, runway 07 center, wind 050 at 4, cleared for takeoff. There are wind 050 for Airlines 736. Emirates Tower, November 6 Delta Papa S26, carry out departure for Santa. Over takeoff, November 6 Delta Papa.
Looks like we have a kind of a headwind.
All aircraft, information Juliet is now current, QNH 1022.
Millie, talk to me about descending on a headwind.
8 nautical miles north of that waypoint, Victor Papa.
Descending with a headwind can be beneficial as it helps reduce your ground speed, allowing for a more controlled and potentially smoother descent. However, it's important to monitor your indicated airspeed to ensure you maintain the desired descent rate and avoid any potential stalls. Adjust your power settings and pitch accordingly to maintain a stable approach. Keep an eye on your instruments and make small adjustments as needed to stay on course. You're doing great. Keep it steady.
All right, we're just making the turn for the Veek waypoint. Veek. Brian, we are ready to begin our descent. We would like to descend a little bit early. One thing I did do on this flight is I left the passengers with a seatbelt sign on the entire flight. I probably wouldn't normally
Requesting
do that,
early descent clearance from Chicago Center.
but I did.
SkyWest 4638, radar contact 8 northwest of Wabash Municipal Airport at flight level 370. Wabash altimeter 30.06. Expect the Watson 4 arrival. I'll have you descending in just a minute or two. Proceed direct, Watson.
Columbus Tower, SkyWest 4638, requesting descent earlier.
SkyWest 4638, descend and maintain 10,000 feet. Altimeter 30.06.
What just happened is I hit level change just then, and I had not changed my altitude from the 370, and I now have it set at 10,000. And now I'll hit VNAV again, and it'll VNAV descend.
Please prepare the cab for arrival.
And ladies and gentlemen, we have begun our initial descent. At this time, we ask that you kindly begin to recheck the security of your seatbelt. And if you've removed any items from the overhead bins, please begin to restow them at this time. Please check around your seating area and the seat pocket in front of you for any cups, glasses, or other articles you wish to discard.
SkyWest 4638, contact Chicago Center on 121.05.
Thank you so much. We should be landing in approximately 15 to 20 minutes.
Clear for takeoff. Exact 851.
What?
Switching to Chicago Center on 121.05, SkyWest 4638.
It did change us to the Watson 4 arrival, and that does kind of alter us a little bit. Alters our approach.
Chicago Center, SkyWest 4638, afternoon, descending through flight level 360 to 10,000.
SkyWest 4638, Chicago Center, good afternoon. SkyWest 4638, Chicago Center, cleared Watson 4, arrival into Chicago.
Cleared Watson 4, arrival into Chicago. SkyWest 4638.
Not completely understanding that yet, but I don't have to. I just have to follow it. See my approach there, so I'm about to, I guess, make a right, slight right, line it up. Yeah, man. I just took off a couple of waypoints that I think were going to confuse me, and we went straight for Makita. And I did that without asking for clearance, but it looks like it would straighten us up. Ron, get clearance to go direct to Makita.
Requesting direct to Makita from center now.
135.2, Midway Tower, US Air 810.
Chicago Center, SkyWest 4638, requesting direct to Makita.
If there's no other planes or air traffic, there shouldn't be a problem with that. I didn't give him a whole lot of choice. We were only 3.5 nautical miles from Makita at the time, so we're good. All right, let's go ahead since we know 27 center. Get our fixed rings in here. At a 10-mile fixed ring. And a 4.5 mile. And that's just for my reference. That helps me.
Air France 1309er, climb flight level 380.
All right, we'll be over. It looks like we'll be over river water. Yeah, for part of this.
Flight level 300 right near 33 Sierra Tango.
And we are 55 miles out.
Chicago Center, good evening.
Chicago Center, Charter 1521 would like to descend down 9,000 feet.
1521, descend and maintain 9,000 feet.
Moving 458, contact Paderborn Tower on 133.38.
Air France 1309er, contact Langen radar on 125.2. Finnair 7 Golf Romeo, contact Sweden control on 127.53.
Millie, what river is this we're flying over?
We're currently flying over the Kankakee River. It's a tributary of the Illinois River, and we're just about 50 miles from Chicago. Keep an eye out for some beautiful views as we approach the city.
You heard that.
SkyWest 4638, descend and maintain 4,000.
Descend and maintain 4,000. SkyWest 4638.
And we're back over from on our altimeter to standard out. No, we're away from standard altimeter. We're back to our normal setting. We're at 245 knots. looks like we're about 696 feet high on our descent right now, but that should equal out. Looks like it's equaling out pretty quick.
West 4638, contact Chicago approach on 133.625.
Contacting Chicago approach on 133.625, SkyWest 4638. Chicago approach, SkyWest 4638, afternoon, descending through 15,000 feet for 4,000.
SkyWest 4638, Chicago approach. Good afternoon, Chicago. Altimeter 29.9er. Expect the ILS runway 27 center approach into Chicago.
Few clouds. Alright, so we're steady descent. We're at about 12,000 feet. I'm going to go ahead and light up. So our lights are on. I am hair concern I noticed on our approach. How we're a little bit off there.
Chicago departure, this is Southwest 5418, proceed on flight level 4000.
Southwest 15418, Chicago departure, radar contact, clear direct OLN, climb and maintain flight level 210.
Clear direct Olin, climb and maintain flight level 210.
Maintain flight level 270, 27 Echo. JetBlue 788, climb flight level 340.
Oh, I know what's wrong. Wrong zone. Our waypoint was set to a vector, and I think it was waiting on some direction from me, so that was not them, it was us.
Oceanic Center on 118.15.
We've gone to flaps 5.
Request direct fast off.
SkyWest 4638, Chicago approach, proceed direct jumbo, cleared for the ILS runway 27 center approach.
Proceeding direct jumbo, cleared for the ILS runway 27 center approach. SkyWest 4638.
All right. We're way too high right now. Let's see if I can help it. May bring the gear out a little bit early. I am 20 nautical miles from the airport, but I may bring out the gear to help to slow my descent. Excuse me, to slow my speed and help my descent. VNAV's no longer controlling our descent. I'm controlling it. Hello, Sears. I get that's the Sears building. Is it still? I think we should make it to our correct altitude. Right now, notice we were high before, but we're coming down. We're still 2,000 feet high. Yep, I think we're gonna do it.
Control Golf Bravo Delta Echo Lima. Repeat your last, please. Golf Bravo Delta Echo Lima. Hyper Echo Lima, climb 4000, turn right, heading 180 vectors for the ILS runway approach.
SkyWest 4638, contact Chicago Tower on 128.15.
Yeah, I love it. right. We're almost within the 10-mile ring. 12 miles, 12 nautical miles. I think we're gonna be okay. We're at 15 flaps. Get it?
Thousand to go. 2,500.
Flight level 5,000, Southwest 3066. Flight level 230, Southwest 3066. Mark, this is Comanche 262 Whiskey Tango at 1,700 feet, heading 360.
Comanche 262 Whiskey Tango, Chicago departure, radar contact, cleared direct radar, climb and maintain 5,000.
Clear direct radar, climb and maintain 5,000. Comanche 2 Whiskey Tango.
Comanche 2 Whiskey Tango, I need you at 5,000 feet, sir.
Speedbird 117, climb flight level 280.
Cardinal Romeo Alpha 244, roll departure identified. Cleared direct rocket.
Blue Dot 9054, Chennai departure identified. Good evening.
Approach Walker 324, descending via SNU 1 kilo into Camilo Daza.
Walker 324, Cucuta approach. Expect the RNAV Alpha runway 34 approach into Camilo Daza. Fijian 841, Athens approach identified. Good evening. Expect the ILS X-ray runway 3 left approach into Venizelos. Walker 324, cleared for the RNAV approach to runway 34 at Camilo Daza.
SkyWest 4638, contact Chicago Tower on 128.15.
Southwest 36, climb and maintain flight level 280.
Switching to Chicago Tower on 128.15, SkyWest 4638. Chicago Tower, SkyWest 4638. Good afternoon. We're established on the ILS approach for runway 27 center.
400. 300.
SkyWest 4638, Chicago Tower, winds 185 at 15, gusting 23. Runway 27 center, cleared to land.
Runway 27 center, cleared to land. SkyWest 4638.
30. 20. 10.
captain has parked the aircraft at the gate.
I would not
and
say
turned
that
off
I'm
the seatbelt
proud
sign.
of that landing.
This will be your one and only indication that it's safe for you to get up and move about the cabin. Please be reminded to use caution when opening the overhead bins to prevent injury from articles that may have shifted during landing. You may not use your mobile phones and other handheld electronic devices while we taxi to the gate. However, your laptop computers and larger electronics must remain stowed. We invite you to visit Delta.com for all your future travel needs, including checking in for a flight and managing your SkyMiles account. If any of you should have questions regarding ground transportation, baggage claim, or any other information, a Uniform Delta agent meeting this flight will be more than happy to answer any questions you may have. On behalf of Delta Sky Team, our global partners, and flight crew, we'd like to thank you all for flying with us. We've enjoyed having you on board and look forward to the opportunity to serve you once again. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful evening.
I can't say that
Flight
I'm
attendants, prepare doors
necessarily
for arrival, please. Cross-check and all call.
proud of that landing. I should have done a go around because what happened is my descent was high, and it was high enough to where I should have waited and did a go around and came back.
SkyWest 4638, welcome to Chicago. Contact ground on 124.125.
So, we'll go back and look at that, but I ended up, in fact, I was coming in at an altitude trying to make up for it to the point that, anyway, toward the end, I could not capture the ILS. I was on the right frequency at 111.9. Everything was correct, but I went ahead and actually did an RNAV landing. So that would have been an unauthorized RNAV landing because I should have done an instrument landing. I don't know. Toward the end, though, I was having to manage the last 2,500 feet because I did not have ILS working with me. We'll go back and watch the landing just to see if I scared my passengers to death. I don't know, it was a smooth touchdown, so probably the passengers may not have known anything was wrong. Something was definitely wrong. Once again, nice edges here at this airport. Looks good. Very nice.
Hilton Tower, Papa Hotel, Juliet Alpha November on the K, apron, VFR flight information, Charlie, VFR flight to Amsterdam, request flight following.
So, our touchdown was 207, so the touchdown itself, good. I mean, the descent rate would be acceptable, but
Papa Hotel November, on departure, maintain VFR at or below 1500 feet. Departure on 119.705 squawk 3737. All aircraft information Delta is now current. QNH 1026.
Fuel off.
Departure maintain VFR at or below 2,500 feet. Departure on 120.55 squawk 4426. Expect runway 3 Freebird 11.
Papa Hotel November, read back correct.
Rush Tower, Freebird 11, ready to taxi. Hotel Juliet Alpha November, requesting startup.
Papa Hotel November, startup approved. Contact apron on 119.9 for tug services if needed.
Startup approved, Papa Hotel November.
King Air 16 Bravo, welcome to Navy Jacksonville. Contact ground on 128.6.
All right, let's go for a replay.
SkyWest 4638, winds 185 at 15, gusting 23. Runway 27 center, clear to land.
Runway 27 center, clear to land. SkyWest 4638.
All right, right there you see I am
SkyWest 4638, Chicago approach. Contact Chicago Tower on 128.15.
Chicago Tower on 128.15. SkyWest 4638.
Yeah, I scare my passengers to death there.
Chicago Tower, SkyWest 4638. Good afternoon. We are established on the ILS approach for runway 27 center.
SkyWest 4638, Chicago Tower, winds 185 at 15, gusting 23. Runway 27 center, clear to land.
Runway 27 center, clear to land.
I'm literally having a crap to get down. Still have plenty of runway left. I don't think I'm going to put that one on my best of right there. That was not okay. Lessons learned. If I didn't try to rush that approach, because toward the end when I realized it brought me in too high, I should have just simply done a go around, could have set up, and everything would have been fine. So no, I didn't need to rush that. I did. I rushed it. We just won't do that again. Be good next time. But yeah, hey, thanks for joining me. I was I hope you picked a few nuggets out of that flight. That was a good flight today. Mostly smooth all the way till the landing toward the end there. But overall, smooth landing. Excuse me, smooth flight, not a smooth landing. I'll see you on the next one as we continue to learn how to fly these things.